Hello, human beings, and welcome to episode 2 of Hades. On our last episode, we made it all the way to Chamber 15, the last chamber of Tartarus, and fought the very first boss, the Fury Sister Meg. Unfortunately, we didn't get to defeat her, but I have a stronger hope that this time we will be able to, on account of we are using the bow on this run. A little bit different than the sword. I'm a little bit more comfortable using the bow, mostly because, as I mentioned in the last episode, I am a Hanzo main. And it's a little bit safer. It's a safer weapon, the bow. So let's go ahead and begin our escape. Alright, so right away, we are going to get Zeus as our very first boon.
Okay. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Greetings there, young man. Look, your father's always been rather difficult, and he's not so much as called in quite some time. He'll have a better home where you belong, here on Olympus. And to help you on your journey, have my blessing.
Wow, what a guy. Yeah, so all of Zeus's boons have to do with dealing lightning damage when you attack your foe. So right off the bat, we have one rare boon. Your special causes lightning bolts to strike nearby foes. Your attack emits chain lightning when you damage a foe. So I guess that's going to be a little bit different than the lightning bolt. Chain lightning definitely is going to go through multiple enemies, or your dash causes a lightning bolt to strike nearby foes. I'm going to go with the thunder flourish. I tend not to use my special. This is my special when you're using the bow. Is this like a wave attack with tons and tons and tons of arrows. It's a little bit weaker by default than the main attack, especially if you can time this attack right. So I tend not to use the special unless there are a couple builds that like work well with the special.
Composed of such innumerable, ever-shifting, interlocking chambers, the underworld of Lord Hades all but guarantees the dead shall there remain until the end of time.
Good thing I'm not dead.
Even though I'm going to be dead very, very soon. I'm going to die and I'm going to come back multiple times. It's just a rite of passage in this game. All right, so here we are, second run of Hades. Very exciting stuff. We are still not ultra powerful, right? I'm much more used to having lots and lots of mirror upgrades, lots of other upgrades that you can get at like the contractor by spending gemstones. So we're still going to have a bit of a tough time of it.
Got them.
Am I expecting fully to get through this entire run? Probably not. Now, here's the first interesting choice. We have a choice between health and an Artemis boon. Now, Artemis boons tend to work really well with the bow because they do have a lot to do with critical hits, right? Now, the bow attacks very slowly, right? I only have one attack like this every, I don't know, it feels a little bit less than a second, but having critical hits on these attacks, especially when it's something like a 20% chance to critically hit and deal 200% damage, is super duper useful. However, health is also very useful. I think this early on in the game, when our character is pretty weak, especially in the health department, I think we would rather go with the health on this one, right? Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, say it a billion times, right? Can't deal damage if you're dead. Yeah. So one of the interesting things that you have to learn with the bow is the timing on when to release, right? If you release right when the spark appears on your character, you get a little whoosh sound effect and you deal more damage. I don't know exactly how much more damage, but it's definitely a lot more damage. But the tricky thing is, when you attack after dashing, the timing is very slightly less. Oh, yeah, I didn't have my second dash there in order to avoid that attack that I'm usually used to. Let's see, holding this here, this is about how long it takes to charge up, but when you dash, it's a lot sooner. You see that? So it's a little tricky to get the timing understood in your own brain between the dash attacks and the regular attacks. So that's something that I've been working on, luckily, in my other save file, which should make this a little bit of a smoother transition. Also, I want to be using my special because I have the boon on my special, the boon that deals extra lightning damage, right? If I see piles and piles of especially really weak foes, I'm definitely going to want to use this boon. Or use the special, rather, with the boon, right? Like these skulls, there's no reason for me to attack them with a single attack, right? I'd have to charge up a full attack just to damage them completely, but one special here is going to take out the entire skull. They're dead. They're gone. So money or an Ares boon. Now, usually what I'd use the money on when I get to Charon Chop is a boon or maybe some health. So I think the Ares boon might be a little bit better. Plus, if I could get Doom on my main attack, that would be super useful. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for here.
Skullomats.
Right.
They absorb my blow.
Yeah. So the problem here with these little skull piles is they spawn more skulls, right? And if Binding of Isaac taught me anything, it's that you always want to take care of the enemies first that can spawn other enemies. All right, let's take a look at what kind of boon we got here.
You wield Coronach, the Heartseeker. It pierced 3 titans in one shot back in the war amongst our kind. Please do take care of it.
Oh, this is another thing that's amazing about this game, right? Supergiant Games are always known for having like great narration, just good story. Every single character in this game responds differently to different variables that you have in your run, right? Like Ares just pointed out that I'm carrying the bow, right? Coronach, the Heartseeker. Every character in this game will like respond to, you've talked to Dionysius before, I see. It's really amazing, and it gives this game a great sense of life. Curse of Agony is the boon that I was talking about earlier, where your attack inflicts doom. I don't think any one of these other boons is really worth taking over this one, right? So it's good. We got doom damage. Oh, look at this. All right, so we have a little Well of Charon here. Now, Well of Charon allows you to spend some money on temporary chamber rewards, right? Passive effects that are going to happen over the course of a couple chambers. They're not going to be permanent. So we do need to weigh that against how much money we're spending. Restoring 10% health when I enter a chamber is pretty good, but it's only for 3 chambers, and I don't usually take lots of damage on these first floors, so I'm probably not going to go with this. Specialty is 40% damage for 6 encounters is pretty good. I actually kind of like that. I might go with that one. I'm going to go with that, and that might incentivize me a little bit more to use my special, which already has a Zeus boon on it. I know I did just... Oh, look, it's already going to kind of pay off because we got a lot of really weak enemies here. I know I did just get an Ares boon, which affects my attack, but again, like, you got to take what you can get as it comes. You're not going to know beforehand what Well of Charon items are going to appear in this game, right? You don't know what's going to be behind these next 2 doors, so you really have to just plan for the now and not the future. Although it is sometimes worthwhile planning for the future. Now, here's a tricky choice. Well, it's not really a tricky choice since I already know what choice I'm going to make, but we can go to Charon and try and buy something, but we only have 18 gold. But the other option is to go to get a Dionysius boon. However, this little skull icon with the little chevron next to it means that this is going to be a tough fight. I believe this is actually going to be a mini boss, which if this is the case, it's not as big of a deal. Oh, it is. It is a big deal. We got another mini boss here. Luckily for us, our special is powered up for the next couple of rooms. So this guy shoots lasers. First of all the way around him, but also between him and his little crystal skulls right here. So luckily we have a good special. Oh, we have a good special that can destroy these skulls quickly. Although now that I'm saying that, I'm noticing that they're starting to build up quite a bit here. It's actually some dangerous ground to be in. I have to attack this guy with my main attack at least a little bit. Once he's dead, all the skulls disappear too. So yeah, did lose about 20 health on that fight. Not too big of a deal. We actually have a little bit of flavor here. Looking at this crying statue.
Lost souls with nowhere left to turn congregate in deepest Tartarus, where they fuse together with the earth itself into odious forms which defy description.
They basically turn into big crystals.
Thanks for spelling it out for us, Zag. Appreciate that.
Look, man, I am feeling generous right now, know what I mean? And so he's something extra potent for you. Ought to keep you going for a while longer than you're used to there.
All right. Ooh, okay, so we've got an epic boon here. The rarity of the boon only increases the stats that are on it. This isn't like a strictly epic boon. This boon can exist in common, rare, epic, or heroic forms, but it's just a little bit more powerful with epic. Your dash causes hangover several times near where you started. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially for an epic boon. That's a lot of damage to stack on enemies. Gain max life when you pick up Nectar. Receive 1 Nectar now. Now, Nectar is the thing that allows us to befriend the gods. And by handing over Nectar, they will give us keepsakes, which are those permanent buffs you can get for like an entire run. So that might actually be worth it, because right now, like basically what this one is saying is that immediately we'll be getting 25 health, right? That's actually a real tough choice between the Drunken Dash and the Premium Vintage. We're just going to skip the after party, right? Don't go to the after party. Stick around at the party. This one's better for survivability. This one's better for damage. You know what? This one's more fun. Damage is more fun. So we will take the Drunken Dash. And now, when we dash, look at that. We'll cause enemies to get hung over, right? Several times. Wherever we go. So that might be useful, especially on the Meg fight, where I might be getting real close to her and I have to dodge away from her. Uh-oh. Alright, we have just entered a survival chamber. This is a bit spooky. A lot of chances to take lots of damage here. Oh, dodged right into that skull. So basically, enemies are going to keep spawning, and I just have to survive for, what is it now, 35 more seconds here? As long as you survive, all the enemies disappear, so it doesn't matter how fast you actually clear the enemies in this chamber. The only benefit that you get is that there are fewer enemies, which, again, you know, the less enemies, the less damage you're going to take. Although I suppose I could just hide in this corner here. Enemies do drop coins, so the more enemies you kill in here, the more money you're going to get. But, you know, on early runs like this, it's probably not going to... Oh, jeez, that was almost some dumb damage. It's probably not going to matter as much to have tons and tons of money, right? Alright, that didn't go too bad. I only lost 2 health that entire time. And we got plus 25 health, which is like, amazing. That's like exactly what we needed right now. So let's move on. It looks like we're going to be getting some darkness in this next room. Yeah, we can actually see the doom starting to affect the enemies, and it's making our job just a slight bit easier. Okay, you can actually see the hangover effect on these little drunken Bacchus guys. Little hedonists, little hedonism bots over here. Hedonism ghosts. Man, this Dionysius boon is actually really useful for enemies that chase after you. Like, we were just running away from that heavy guy with the mace, and he was just walking right into our hangover, like, consistently, over and over again. So, that's pretty useful. I think these guys have shields. Oh, they don't have shields. All right, it was just the fat guy. All right. Really, you're going to need to deal a little bit more damage more consistently here. These pillars right in the center, damn, I took that. That was dumb damage. That was slow-moving damage, and that's the worst kind of damage. Those little pillars in the middle are so difficult to fire around. Like, look at that. They're hiding behind the pillars. It's so annoying. It's difficult using ranged weapons. It's even more difficult using melee weapons, right? Because they're just going to float out there, avoiding your damage. See, these guys that charge at us, it's like they charge right into, like, as long as we dash away in time, they charge right into a pile of hangover. It's really perfect. We're just going to take a look around the room, make sure there are no wells of Charon, something that we can use in the future. Get a little bit of extra bonus with this 210 money that we have, which is really good. It's really good. It's nothing to sneeze at here. Should be a simple room. You can dodge across gaps, which is, I mean, that's mobility. That's good, right? Especially when we get that Mirror of Night upgrade that allows us to dodge more than once in a row. We'll start to really notice that was a little bit of dumb damage there. I feel like I'm starting to sound like a Northern Lion talking about dumb damage and playing a roguelike game. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care who we sound like, alright? Because most of all, I sound like me. Alright, let's dodge out of the way and... Oh, that was a little bit of auto-lock problem there. It happens occasionally. I do like the auto-lock a bit better, but it did prevent us from shooting the big pile of skulls that spawns more skulls in. Let's get around this corner so that we're not getting fired at from all directions. At least we can dodge around the pillar when we don't want to take damage. It's a little bit more of a useful tactic there. Take care of the guys on the hierarchy. On the hierarchy of enemies that we need to kill, it's got to be number 1, enemies that spawn more enemies. That's a no-brainer. Number 2, it's got to be enemies that cast. All right, we can level up one of our abilities. Your attack inflicts doom. That's a lot more damage. That's 30 damage per doom. Lightning bolts to strike nearby foes when you deal special. Now, here's the thing. I think nearby foes means nearby to me, not nearby to the enemy that I hit. So since I'm using the bow and I'm trying my best to be far away from enemies, I don't think this is as useful as it might appear at first glance. Your dash causes hangover several times near where you started. Now this is going to be a slightly better upgrade than usual because our drunken dash is epic. You can kind of see it right there. It's purple. It's epic. So it's going from 4 to 5 instead of like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or something like that. But I'm going to go with the Curse of Agony upgrade.
They must have lots of these.
And I can actually press B to see my boon info. Now, normally this would be filled up with a lot more things. It would be a lot more useful when we have more boons, and it's tricky to keep track of them, but we know that that's there. It also shows us just like all of the currency that we have, all of our health, all of our upgrades that we got from the Mirror of Night. It's just a really useful page to be on. Now my choice here is a Power Palm or Charon, and since I got 240 money, I'm gonna go right for Charon. I think that's a no-brainer, honestly. I mean, Charon could be selling me a Palm of Power. It's totally possible. He did not sell me a Palm of Power, but we could definitely take this health. That's super useful. Oh, also I should talk to Charon. How you doing, buddy? Lovely.
Fine day to you as well there, mate. Now let's have a look at your supplies, shall we?
Quite the charmer, that one. Now, I only have one choice here, right? I can't get both of these. I only have 194 money. Each one of these is going to be prohibitively expensive compared to the other one. So my choices are a Zeus boon or health, and I mean, honestly, it's health. I think it's health here. It's health all the way.
I'll take it.
125 health, and don't forget we have 1 stack of Death Defiance, which allows us to come back from the dead with 50% health. So again, taking the health is actually a lot more useful than the Zeus boon, because now that our health is higher, we're going to come back with more health as well. And we are going into the Megara fight. And luckily, I'm using the bow, right? So I can stay far away from Meg. So I shouldn't be taking damage from some of those attacks I was taking damage from in the last episode.
We meet again.
Ever stubborn, aren't you? Maybe my whip might make you reconsider whatever it is that you're attempting here.
Your whip's not been all that persuasive in the past.
Ooh, saucy.
Your persistence will pay off for both of us. Come then.
All right, let's fight Megara, and let's try and stay far, far away from her, right? We don't want to be in the path of that whip. With only 1 dash, we won't be able to dodge its damage very effectively. Now, we're already doing a pretty good job here. We haven't taken damage yet. Continue to focus a bit on the adds that she's bringing into this fight, and run away from her whip. Yeah, I'm feeling really good about this fight. Ooh, watch out for these. Ooh, watch out for these. It is a lot more difficult to dodge these with only 1 dash instead of 2. As is the case with everything in this game, I suppose. Why be redundant when you could just be redundant? Take care of the adds while she's impervious. Yeah, if I dodge out of the way at just the very last second, she dashes right into my hangover stack. So that's a little bit of extra damage we can deal on her. I haven't taken damage this fight yet. I'm feeling really confident about this Megara fight. I literally thought I almost cursed myself there by saying I didn't take damage on this fight yet. Nice. All right, that is a damageless Fury fight. So that was pretty good. All right, that's it. That is the entire first floor done. Entire first floor done. And we got a little bit of Titan blood. Now, Titan blood is very useful for upgrading your weapons, I think, when you clear the game for the first time. I think once you defeat Hades once, you get the ability to upgrade your weapons. Nice. So in between floors, oh, we get a little bit of flavor text. We do get to heal. There's a fountain here. It only restores 25 health right now, but again, there are upgrades to this to make it better. Not like we needed the 25 health anyways. We also get a Well of Charon here, but we also get the ability to sell some of our boons. So let's see which ones have been chosen for us today. So we can purge the Curse of Agony, which I'm not going to do. This is a lot of extra damage, and it's leveled 2. So we're not gonna do that one. Drunken Dash, epic. We're not gonna purge that one. And I think Thunder Flourish has been pretty effective in our run so far, so we're not gonna purge that either. We're just gonna go with no purging. Okay. Restore 10% health when you enter a chamber. It's a bit expensive, and we're at full health anyway. Let's not take that. Gaia's Treasure, I might actually do that. So gemstones are for some of the longer term permanent upgrades, also some of the cosmetic upgrades to the House of Hades. We are going to take this, all right? Having gems is super useful. And some of the gem upgrades are pretty inexpensive at the beginning. Hey, we got some flavor text here.
None other than those in the trusted inner circle of Lord Hades are authorized to enter the intricate chambers connecting the vast regions of the Underworld. But the prince decides to barge in anyway.
I barge where I please.
Hell yeah, dude. You think, dude, I can dash all the way around anywhere I want in this entire room. You think I'm not going to barge in? I'm going to be exactly like Timmy Turner's dad when he just smashes into his room. All right. So we have gone up another level. We are here in Asphodel now. So once again, we have a nice, beautiful vista that shows some of this hand-drawn art. It's really, really incredible. This is Asphodel. Level 2. Enemies are going to get tougher. There's going to be lava on the floor. It's not going to be a fun time at all. But hey, maybe we'll be able to get through the second level. Who knows? Anything is possible at this point.
The plains of Asphodel are now engulfed in scintillating flame, having been flooded by the river Phlegethon, whose hideously superheated contents could bring death swiftly even to those resistant to most heat.
I'm only flame resistant, not flame proof.
Yeah, as you can see, I got like flames on my feet. It's a little bit harder to see here than on some of the other floors, but you can actually see that I leave like footprints and steam behind every time I take a step. This game is gorgeous. I mean, just look at the effects. Just every time you take a step, there's so much polish. Supergiant Games have the polish of Nintendo games. I mean, if we're being honest here. All right, let's see what awaits us in Asphodel. Skull Crushers. So one of the problems with Asphodel is that the arenas are really, really large. Uh-oh. Let's get out of their way. Don't want to deal with these guys. Come on, try and crush me. He managed to crush me. That's embarrassing. I really should just keep my mouth shut. Sadly, I had to dodge out of the way of that little pile of fire there. Can I kill him? Oh, I thought I could kill him. Luckily, these guys drop down wherever I just was, and since I always dodge out of the way, they're always going to get a stack of hangover on them, which is pretty useful. Oh, for damage. Yeah, as you increase in levels, the enemies that you saw on the previous floors tend to like get more powerful. Like again, these caster guys used to just shoot one ball at a time, and now they're shooting an entire wave of 5. We are going to do our due diligence and kind of look around to make sure there are no Wells of Charon or something else that might be fun. Okay, now here is a bit of a choice. A key, chthonic key, or some of the darkness. Now again, well, let's check how much darkness I have. If I have enough darkness, okay, so 65 darkness is enough to get the second dash. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm good on darkness for now. I would rather have the keys. The keys can unlock more weapons in the future, and we're going to want more weapons, 100%. More weapons make this game a little bit more full of variety, you know? A little bit more interesting. Oh, these guys are going to be tough with only one stack of dash. Luckily, early on in Asphodel, the floors aren't too much more difficult than others. But with only one dash, it's going to be tough to get away from some of these enemies. Like, seriously, like I can't underestimate how useful having a second dash is. Oh. Dodge some of that. Yeah, so you don't want to walk on the lava here. Even though your feet are covered, absolutely covered in fire, the lava will do damage to you if you stay on it for too long. So let's get this key. So that gives us 2 keys. Pretty good. And I think we just did a nice sweep around to try and find Wells of Charon. We didn't see them. Unless there was one over here that I missed? No. So the wells they'd show up on these tables here. Otherwise, they're just empty. So we have a choice between Zeus and Athena, Athena is a much more defensive option because all of her boons grant deflection, so I'm going to go with Athena here. I think this is the smarter choice of the two. We already have a Zeus boon anyways. He's already part of our soul, part of our heart. These guys throw bombs at you, so pretty dangerous stuff. Even after they die, they drop bombs, which is it was one of the more difficult things to get used to when I first started playing this game, is that, like, if you get too close to these guys, they're gonna drop bombs. Like, you gotta get away. Those bombs are pretty damaging. All right. This little skeleton guy with the shields is really dangerous because they just charge. They charge for like 6 times, I think. Oh, and I'm standing in the lava. So I got to make sure that I'm far away from him while his shield's up. Shield is down though, so we can be a little bit more lenient as to how we fight him. Oh, watch out, dude. Like, seriously, like, I think the way that I'm playing doesn't really emphasize how difficult this game actually is. This game is really hard. It takes so long, like most roguelikes should, in my opinion, be. It takes a really long time for you to get good and understand the enemy attack patterns. But again, I've been playing this game for a little while now.
There she is.
I did only buy it after launch. I didn't own this game early access, so it hasn't been too long, but...
We Olympians rarely consort with the chthonic gods. Though Nyx herself reached out to me about your plight, and I was spurred to act.
Yep, Mama Nyx. Okay, so what do we have here? Failing Shot is my first, it's like it feels like the first thing, like, immediately that I want to go for. Being able to use my cast to deflect damage would be pretty good. After you take damage, damage foes around you and briefly deflect. We don't want to be taking damage. I'm not going to be taking this one. Resist damage from traps. That's probably a better choice early on if you're accidentally stepping on traps. I think I have enough experience not to step on traps. We're going to go with Failing Shot. All right, so now our cast is slow moving and it deflects as it passes through. So that's going to be really useful on these casters who just, you know, send a shot out in 5 directions at once. So 124 money. My threshold for going to Charon is 150 because that's how much a boon would cost. Even health at Charon, like a health up, is 125. So I'm still 1 too low even to go there. Now, unfortunately, this is a tough fight. We got the skull, we got the chevron. So this is going to be a boss fight. And this is going to be tough, all right? Especially if it's the witches. And I guess hopefully it's not the witches, but if it is the witches, I guess we'll see. It is not the witches. Lucky for us. So we're going to fight the head of Medusa here. Or I guess it's not strictly the head of Medusa, but it is a Gorgon head. Oh, bad combo, bad combo. So the head of the Gorgon here will freeze you in place if the rocks touch you. And this guy will step on you immediately. It's like the deathliest combo. Oh, oh, wow. This guy actually... Wow, his like ground pound attacks in such a way that if I just stand there and dodge, I actually can't get out of the range of it. Which again is another reason why I want to have the dash upgrade, so I can have 2 dashes. Dashing away twice, much more effective than dashing away once, as it turns out. So we are almost done with Medusa here. She'll probably be dead in 1 more attack. Yep. And then that makes the rest of this fight pretty trivial, because this guy's pretty easy on his own, right? He's only dangerous because Medusa can freeze you in place. I mean, look at this. Like, if you know his attack pattern, you can dodge him pretty easily. So, we did lose a significant amount of health on that fight, but
In the name of Hades.
we're still in pretty good position. Death Defiance makes you impervious longer. Replenish 1 use. So, this is an epic boon. Replenishing 1 use of Death Defiance would be the best reason to pick this boon, because coming back from the dead, you're a little bit impervious to damage, right? Only having 3 seconds of it isn't crazy good. And since we still have our Death Defiance, we're probably not going to go with this one. Holy Shield, this is the same one as before, except rare. It might have been rare before. After you take damage, damage foes around you and briefly deflect. Or Death Defiance restores more health than usual, also replenishing 1 use. So that is less useful since we don't have the Death's Defiance to replenish. I'm going to go with Holy Shield. I think of these three, especially since we still have our Death Defiance, Holy Shield's probably the best choice. Yeah, I'm happy with that decision. Let's move on. Let's see how far we can get through Asphodel. I feel confident we can at least get to the boss. That's what I feel. Oh, okay. Yeah, these guys... Usually I'm like killing these guys a lot faster because I have more dashes. I can get out of the way sooner. I can get in, attack them. I'm a little more powerful later on in my other save file because you just get more power, get more attack when you do the Mirror of the Night. But I forgot that these guys actually just... Straight up, they just fling bombs at you, and they just like, they kind of follow you. They track just a little bit, which is tricky stuff to avoid. Oh man. So what I tried to do there was throw my cast, which can deflect now, into this wave of purple. That's what I'm gonna do here. There we go. We're deflecting things back at him now. Actually, I can use this on those bombs as well. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah. All right. So having deflect on our cast is actually coming in really handy. Let's take a look around for Wells of Charon. We didn't see anything. Well, health or power palm. I mean, the obvious choice here is health, right? It raises your max health by 25, but also heals you by 25. So I could really use that extra health right now. Oh, yeah. I love that. So your cast does get stuck in enemies when it makes contact with them, which has benefits. It has benefits because it deals damage. It will become unstuck after a certain amount of time, which you can improve, again, with the Mirror of Night. I probably shouldn't have thrown that cast at him without him throwing a bomb at me first, but I got greedy. We'll just let that big explosive grenade kind of hit him. Ooh, can I hit this grenade while he's there? Yeah, we can let that deal the damage to him. Oh, but he had a shield, so... not shields, armor. Armor blocks damage. So if an enemy has 1 health of armor left over, and you deal an attack, even if that attack does 1,000 damage, it'll only do enough damage to actually shatter the armor. And then you have to deal the rest of the damage afterwards. Damn. I always forget that those guys can just fling shit at me real fast. Should be the last enemy here. Oh, I accidentally dashed right into the lava, so I took a little bit of damage from that. That was a bit dumb on my part. But we got a health up. We got a health up. We got a little bit more health. We do have enough money to go to Charon this time, and I will. So that's 208 money. We could definitely at least get a boon or a health upgrade. Probably the health upgrade, if I'm being objective here. And it looks like the next fight is the boss of Asphodel. So, can we get all 3 of these things? We can... No. We can get 2 of them. So this palm, like this one piece of a palm, is a random power-up. So you don't actually get to choose. Unfortunately, no health here. I think the smarter choice is Athena followed by Darkness, because there is a chance we might not make it past this boss. So we want that longer term investment here. Your abilities that can deflect also make foes exposed, which gives more backstab damage. I'm not a big fan of backstab damage when I'm using the bow, since I'm just trying to stay away from enemies anyways. They're mostly facing towards me. Reduced damage from traps is 90%. Reduced damage from traps is pretty darn good. And then, or a 5% damage from all foes' attacks. I'm gonna go with the 90% damage from traps, right? I don't usually end up walking into traps anyways, and I'll also take the darkness. Can I talk to Charon here? No. I think you can only talk to him once per run, and since we've already talked to him once.
The flaming river Phlegethon to gain this vantage point. Relentless Zagreus must now confront a foe of unimaginable savagery, who lies ahead, awaiting patiently its time to strike.
I'm just shaking in my boots. Who could it possibly be? I have no idea. I already know who it is.
Hello?
It's the Bone Hydra. Bone Saw is ready. Actually, I probably should have kept that cast on me. The Bone Hydra does send out shots that I can deflect back at him, and those shots get much, much faster in the future. As he kind of upgrades as the fight goes on, the casts get a lot faster. Now this is really tough, all right? There's going to be a lot of Bone Hydras that spawn out here, and I have to pay attention to all of them, plus the attacks that the main Bone Hydra is shooting at me. Very difficult indeed. But we're handling it pretty well. We're handling it pretty well. Just pay attention to the Bone Hydra, wait for him to cast on me. Again, since we're using the bow is a very safe weapon. You can stay far away from enemies so they're not attacking you, right? Like, I'm not even worried about the bow. Shit. Oh, shit. I'm not even worried about the Bone Hydra hitting me with his, like, head slam because I'm not even close to him. I was worried about that one. But, I mean, you know, bow, very safe weapon. Stay far. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. All right, Bone Hydra. Okay. All right. He shoots a lot faster later in the combat. Ooh, we can avoid this by getting behind these pillars, though. I want to try and deflect them back at him, although I'm not going to be able to deflect every single one of his shots back at him. So trying to stay behind the pillars through these fights is going to be paramount. Okay, yeah, as you can see, it gets a little bit more difficult, a little bit trickier, especially with only one stack of dash. There's a lot of stuff you gotta focus on when you're playing this game. Oh, I'm standing right in the fire. I dodged right into lava. Okay, taking a lot of damage here. Taking a lot of damage. But this is okay. This is okay. Because we're slowly clearing these Bone Hydra heads. And the more that we clear, the easier this fight's gonna get. There's gonna be less shit flying at us from all ends of the screen. All right, so that's more than half of the Bone Hydra heads gone and dealt with. We're actually doing a lot better on this fight than I thought we were gonna do. We still have 45 health and a use of Death Defiance, which is gonna seriously come in handy. Oh, damn, I think the casts are like turning so casts kind of seek enemies out a little bit, like they turn just a tiny bit. And I think they were, instead of going right for the Bone Hydra, oh, nice. Oh, okay. Took a little bit of damage there, but that's all right. When I do take damage, I start deflecting as well. So it's like, it's not even a big deal if I take damage because the rest of the casts from him will probably get deflected by me. Nice. All right, so that was a stack of doom that actually killed the Bone Hydra. Awesome. Very surprised we've made it this far. So we get a diamond. Nice. Diamonds are good for really long-term house investments. Things that'll improve chambers in the future, or improve rewards in the future. So again, we get another fountain. We're going to heal a little bit of health. We're going to see what boons we can purge, and there's nothing great here. There's nothing spectacular. We probably don't want to get rid of any of these. And the Well of Charon, we don't have a lot of money, but we will take this 15% chance for enemies to drop health items. I think that's totally worthwhile. Again, the farther we get, the more darkness we're going to get, the more gemstones we're going to get, the better we'll be able to upgrade ourselves for future runs. So the farthest we can get, even though I don't anticipate completing this run just yet, we're not quite strong enough. The farther we get, the better. And here we are in Elysium. And again, we get another beautiful look at the scenery.
Maybe I wouldn't mind all this.
Wow. This looks like a nice place to be dead for all of eternity, huh? What's our flavor text gotta say?
Heavenly splendors of Elysium, reserved for only the most great of mortal souls, spread forth luxuriantly all about the fire-stepping prince.
Luxuriantly? Really?
All right, darkness, long-term investment. Keys, super long-term investment. Let's go for the keys. Let's go for the key. I want to unlock all the weapons as soon as possible because there is a system. Oh, these enemies are tough. I'll talk about them after I talk about this system. There is a system in this game that incentivizes you using all different kinds of weapons. Ooh, eyeball. So, one weapon per run will be designated as a weapon that'll give you 20% extra darkness for that run. So there is a very strong incentive for you to use many different types of weapons instead of just, instead of just the one weapon over and over again. I mean, if you really like one weapon, you can use it, right? It's not like a permanent downgrade to not get 20 extra, darkness on your runs. So if you really like a weapon, you can continue using it. I really like playing this game using all the different types of weapons, so I do always, 100% of the time, and that's going to be the case here with this playthrough as well. 100% of the time, I go for the weapon that has the darkness modifier on it. Now, the other tough thing is that you can get, once you unlock the darkness modifier, you can get it on weapons you don't have unlocked yet, which is why I want to, as fast as possible, unlock all the weapons. All right, so that room went pretty well. We're still doing pretty good. So money or a power palm? I think I go for the money. Let's check our boons out here. Yeah, so the boons that I can upgrade, I mean, maybe Curse of Agony is worth upgrading another level. But if the power palm doesn't offer this to us, I'd be really remiss that we didn't go for the money. So we're gonna go for the money here, and that way we can go for a Charon shop later, which might give us more health or something. It could give us something, surely. All right, now this is actually the perfect time to talk about how annoying these enemies are. These soldier enemies here, have a little eyeball right here that if it touches the ghostly spirit of the enemy, it'll respawn, right? That's really annoying. First of all, I just knocked him into an arrow and gave him 600 damage. That's pretty cool. But second of all, these, oh god. Second of all, these bow guys shoot you from all the way across the screen, like even if you can't see them, and it's really, really annoying. So if you see this little symbol over my head, that's because another bow guy is aiming at me across the screen, even though it's not that one. Now, these casters are usually pretty annoying, but I have a, yes, nice. I have the Athena boon, which can just deflect that shit right back at him. So, that didn't go as poorly as I thought. I'm doing way better on the second run than I thought that I ever would. Like, I'm already up to the third, area. No brainer. Take the health. Right? That seems obvious. 50% striking foes from behind. Again, I don't usually strike foes from behind. Flame wheels release. Prevent flame wheel foes from appearing in encounters. I think I go for that. So this is going to prevent flame wheels from appearing for the rest of Elysium. And flame wheels are super duper annoying. They chase right after you, and they blow up. They explode in your face. Not very fun. So now I have a choice. Only 50 money, not really above my threshold for a Charon shop. I would rather have the key, but the key is a difficult fight. It's going to be a tough fight. I say we go for the key. We're full of health here. We're at 155 health. I don't think that this fight is going to be that much of a problem. These are the second most annoying forms of these little soldier guys that respawn because they have shields. So now much to my chagrin, I am forced to fight these guys by stepping behind them. Awesome job, me. They block damage from the front. Really annoying. And we also have to make sure that these eyeballs do not, under any circumstances, respawn as these shield guys. Not fun. Not fun at all. This is going a lot slower than most of the runs usually do because, again, usually on the runs you have like permanent upgrades. Permanent upgrades that can increase your attack, increase how fast you complete the run. Like, again, I'm just dashing one time. It's not really doing much for me. So this run is going slowly, but we are making progress, all right? We're going, oh shit, that was some easy damage I could have avoided. We are making progress. We are getting permanent upgrades for the future, getting some keys, getting some darkness. We're going to get the dash upgrade after this run, for sure. But, just for right now, it doesn't feel the best. Oh, that was 2 keys. That's awesome. That's super awesome. So that's 5 keys total. I think that's enough. That's enough definitely to unlock the shield. The shield costs 4 keys, I believe. Now here's the choice. Athena boon or money, but the Athena boon's going to be a boss fight, a mini boss. I think we go for the money. I don't really want to fight a mini boss right now, especially on Elysium, and especially without too much unlocked in the mirror. Those mini bosses can be pretty ruthless. There's one mini boss in Elysium in particular that like continually spawns spirits. Oh shit. It continuously spawns those spirits that regenerate until you defeat the boss, and then you have to fight all the spirits. It's not very it's not very fun. These are not, luckily for us, these aren't the exploding chariots, but they do still chase you, and they're gonna be dealing quite a bit of damage to me. I'm gonna try my best to avoid the damage, but again, it's really tough to do when you only have one dash. Dashing does give a little bit of dodge chance while you do it. So like there's like a I think a flat chance to just avoid damage outright as enemies pass by you. Can you stop moving? But with only one dash, it's harder to avoid damage. I mean, that's just the way of things. All right, Well of Charon anywhere? I don't see any. Yeah, there aren't any here. That's fine. I would rather look around the room and waste my time. Again, so mini boss or health, it's kind of an easy choice to take the health. This run's going really well.
Long spears.
All right. We got, this is probably the least annoying version of the enemies, although they do kind of dash towards you. Maybe the sword version of this enemy is the least annoying. I'd probably go all in on that one. Say the sword version of this enemy is the least annoying. I managed to make him lunge right into an arrow, which is pretty cool. One of the really interesting ways that the game interacts. Oh, okay. So I should definitely keep those shield guys alive so I can deflect. Oh, one of them's come back. So see, that's what happens if you accidentally kill one of these guys off screen. The spirits can still come back. It's really dangerous stuff. Really tricky. When they come back with full health. It's just not a fun spot to be in. We're actually running really low on health here. We might. Oh my gosh, I didn't dodge out of the way of that. We might actually lose a stack of Death Defiance right here, right now, which again it's not the end of the world, because you know it's death is just part of the natural cycle of like games, right? Part of the natural cycle of this game, especially this game. By dying, you actually get like story content, so it's not even a big deal to die. I wanted that guy to kind of move forward, but I don't think that attack pushes him forward. All right, we managed to not die in this room, and we got a maximum of 200 health. Only 32 to our name right now, but like a maximum of 200 health is pretty good. If we can somehow get past this floor and get the fountain to heal us, then you know we'd be in the clear. Zeus boon or money? I'm gonna go for the Zeus boon. Is that even a good idea? I'm gonna go for the Zeus boon, just because my brain thought of it first, and I don't wanna doubt my brain. So we'll go for it. All right, we're fighting a whole bunch of these bow guys. Definitely don't want to. Oh my gosh, there's like at any given moment there are 3 arrows pointed directly at me. I'm trying to fight around this pillar in the middle so that I'm not in danger of getting hit from too many of them at once, but like it's still really dangerous spot to be in. All right, take care of the respawners first, then take care of the actual bow guys. So there's definitely going to be another wave that spawns in here. I hope it's nothing too tough. Another set of bow guys, not great, but I mean, what can you do? Ooh, we just took some damage there. We're actually in the red. Our health is flashing. That's a bit of a dangerous, precarious situation to be in. Although, you know, if I hang out here near the bow guy, I can actually get lots of stacks of hangover on him just from my dash. And it does look like we're going to be fighting a third wave of these guys. So actually, you know what I want to do? Ooh. Damn. I wanted to try and deflect. Oh my gosh. I wanted to try and deflect this caster's stuff back at him, but it's really, really hard to do when there's tons of enemies and, let's try it. I didn't quite hit him. It's really tough when there's a lot of enemies and your cast kind of soft locks onto other enemies that are closer to you. We did manage to make it through that room. 13 health left. Very, very dangerous, very risky situation.
Here comes brave Athena, first to reach you among all my kin in all her shrewdness. So proactive, you contacted Zagreus prior to even telling me, my dear.
Lord Father, would that I could settle even more such matters quickly and discreetly, so that only the most vital of them rise up to the level of your notice, sir. Though I'm certain Zagreus and I are very grateful you have intervened.
Awesome. So we're actually going to get a duo boon here. So this happens sometimes when you get certain boons from certain gods and then meet up with certain gods later, is that their boons actually kind of sync up together. So we're definitely going to take this one. Your phalanx shot cast bounces between nearby foes. So this kind of combines the cast that we just had with the chain lightning that we almost had earlier in the run, but we didn't end up taking. So definitely going to take that. So now, I mean, we can't see it here, but that's going to bounce between enemies up to 3 times. Very, very useful. That should actually, if we have enemies with like a lot of enemies that cast with opportunities to deflect, that's actually going to be a really useful boon to have. Power Palm, again, there's not much I want to upgrade here, especially on a run that might not be going all the way to the end. With 13 health left, we have to assume that this run is going to end long before actually reaching Hades. That's all right. I don't think do these guys send out casts towards me? Like, do they cast stuff at me that I can deflect? That'd be real nice. Because I can show off this boon. I mean, I could still show off this boon. Here, I'm going to show off this boon. Okay, that didn't bounce. That did bounce between foes. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Maybe we'll figure it out in the future. Ooh, wow, he did damage through the wall. All right. Well, that's our first use of Death Defiance used up. Our first and only use of Death Defiance. We do get the last chance message at the top when it's like your last chance, when it's your last life. So that's really useful to know. But yes, this life is the last one that we have. And we just took a lot of dumb damage from that caster right there. All right. I'm not too nervous. We got way farther than I assumed we would. I kind of thought like maybe we'd die on an Asphodel or something, but we're doing way better than I thought we would. So again, if we die here, whatever. We got permanent upgrades to make. Oh gosh, this is gonna be real tricky. Okay, that one definitely bounced between multiple enemies. Ooh, running low here, running real low. And we're getting shot at from afar. This is a really bad situation to be in. Like I said, like the further you get into the floors, the harder the enemies get, and the more there are, and like in worse combinations, and it's just a really, really scary time. Let's try using, since there's a lot of, oh yeah, we're at 34 health here. There's a good chance that we die right here, right now. I'm trying my best to make sure that doesn't happen. I want to at least get, well, I mean, what is it? What am I getting here? Money? I mean, if I get this money, hopefully the next floor is... Oh, these butterflies are coming right at me. Hopefully the reward for the... Ooh, hopefully the reward for this next floor is a Charon shop, like one of the things that we can go into in the future. That would be real nice because then we can at least buy some darkness before the boss fight of Elysium. Or maybe not even darkness, just something permanent that we can use to upgrade our character for the next run. So we got the money. I didn't see any wells. Oh, here's a well. We will take this just because it is health, and we'll save the rest just in case there's some good Charon shop items. No Charon shop, but the key and the darkness. How much darkness do we have? We have an even 100 darkness, but again, I'm gonna go for the key just because we're gonna need a lot more of them. We're gonna need a lot of keys. 1 to unlock all the weapons, and 2 to get the... Oh my god, do you see that? There are 5 shots. There are 5 shots going at me at any given moment. Again, really tough to dodge with only 1 dash. I'm not feeling great about this one. I think this is where we die. We'll do our best. We'll do our best here. We do want this last key. And again, maybe like another Charon shop will appear after this as part of the rewards for this chamber. But we're not feeling too great with 9 health remaining. It's an uphill battle we're fighting here, 100%. Oh my gosh, I'm not feeling I'm not feeling great about this. Let's just see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Feeling bad for myself is only going to make me play worse. Oh, avoid the trap, although I do take 90% less damage from traps. So that's useful. Do what we can here. Make sure that we're not ruining our gameplay by trying to psych ourselves into playing poorly. Just do our best, right? That's all you can ask. All right, we do have another stack of guys here. This is going to be pretty tricky stuff. That's it. I dodged right into a shield guy's attack. And there we go. We're dead. The run is over. But that's okay, because we got story time, and we got some permanent upgrades we're going to be making to our character here.
So, did everybody miss me?
Ever so clever, Zagreus.
What happened to Hypnos?
Hypnos ain't here. Ooh, we got a little conversation between Nyx and Hades here. Let's listen in.
Knows of him, bestowing on him all their worthless blessings here within my realm. Our realm. Explain to me how exactly this is possible, Nyx. Either your limitless power has considerably waned, or you are up to something.
Do not question my power, Hades. Your son was bound to be discovered the closer he came to the surface. The Olympians are pleased to know they have a distant relative and bid him welcome to their mountain. That is all. Their influence is very limited.
God and darkness, do not speak to me about their influence. I've seen their influence firsthand. You've made a foolish mistake.
You would speak to me of foolish mistakes. You cannot change the course that has been set. Try all you like.
Nyx.
Well, a little bit of fighting in the family here.
How are you holding up, boy? Eating well lately? All 3 mouths full and happy?
I guess that's to be expected.
Terrifying maw of the infernal watchdog Cerberus responds affirmatively, one after the next, as if to reassure the ever-doubting prince.
It's Pet
Everybody
Cerberus.
knows exactly
Aw,
how
good
to keep
boy.
pets and live
I guess
eternally,
I guess some family fighting is to be expected when your family is the lords of the underworld, right? I mean, you gotta expect that.
Keep at it, lad. I've known great men throughout my life, and I can always tell when someone's better than their circumstances. Fight like I'd fight out there.
Thanks, Achilles.
I'll
What a
give the
bro.
thanks you once did Achilles, though doubtless many of the shades who stand against me first arrived in Tartarus because of you.
Again, I still can't get in that door. Won't open.
You in there, lad.
And it looks like we have some new stuff to do. Some new ways to permanently upgrade our character.
Special offer for me, my good shade.
Excellent stuff. So this is where you spend gemstones at the house contractor. So I guess in terms of volume, most of the stuff you do is just cosmetic, right? It's changing the way that the House of Hades looks, changing the hall, changing the lounge, changing the bed chambers, our bed chambers, and I guess, well, we need more renovations before we can get music, but we'll get there. But here under work orders, we can actually get really useful permanent upgrades to the way that the battle is going to be handed out. So right here for free, actually, just because it's a grand opening deal, we can get fountain chambers in Tartarus. So that's a no-brainer. That's free, right?
Fountain chamber in the depths of Tartarus sounds like an excellent idea.
So this will open up some rooms that are just there to heal us, which would be amazing. We can also do a couple more things now that we've done this very first thing. Unfortunately, we can't afford these. It might be worth saving up for these, although, you know, we'll eventually accrue 20 gems. 20 gems ain't that much. Chambers may contain an infernal trove. Infernal troves are pretty useful. I'm gonna go with this over keepsake collection because we don't have any keepsakes yet. So let's go for the thing we can actually use in the near future.
Of the Underworld ought to be a little livelier with this.
Nice. So awesome. So we are going to have, I'm going to just get rid of all of this exclamation marks because that will affect my OCD. Definitely don't want to have some leftover things to see.
Once was a small lounging area within the House of Hades, now is sealed off, in utter shambles, since the multi-headed Cerberus tore the space apart, mourning the missing prince.
Cerberus destroyed the
Aw,
lounge
it's
again.
my fault. Let's talk to Meg.
How goes it, Shades?
Cause of death, sharp object. Yeah, you can see how some of the shades around here actually died. It's cute. Gives a little bit of, it's like stuff that they don't need to do. It's polish, right? It's cute.
The prodigal son returns. Everyone's saying I went easy on you, Zag.
Don't worry, Meg. I eventually managed to get home the painful way after all.
Look, I have a reputation to uphold. You get past me again like that, you best go all the way. Now leave me be and don't think you're gonna be so lucky next we meet out there.
Why is Meg always talking about going all the way and getting lucky? I feel like this happens way too much. She talks about punishment, which, if you're into that, I mean, you're into that. Let's permanently upgrade ourselves at the mirror so I can talk about something else and stop embarrassing myself. Now, I'm not going to have enough darkness for Death's Defiance for quite a long time, right? But like I said, I want this greater reflex. I want the chance to dodge twice, right? Super duper useful. I can spend 5 keys on this next set of talents, but I think I'm gonna spend my keys on new weapons first. So in the meantime, we can upgrade Chthonic Vitality once, and we'll do Shadow Presence as many times as we can. We'll just spend the rest of our darkness on that, because with other weapons besides the bow, you do get behind enemies a lot, and it's totally worth having extra damage to enemies when you're attacking from behind. There's also a little bit of flavor text down here.
The bedchambers of Prince Zagreus lie in a perpetual state of utter disarray, despite his lord and master of the house repeatedly insisting that he pick everything up.
Oh, come on, it's not...
He's just a messy guy. It's not that big of a deal, all right? He's just a messy guy.
How's it going?
Hey, Skelly.
Hey, Skelly, you look like you know your way around Tartarus. Found some of this ancient Titan blood out there, and I was looking to score some more.
Ah, you come to the right place regarding that there, pal. It's your mean weapons back there that can find this stuff. Once you get all the way through Tartarus with one, that's all the blood you're gonna get. For the time being, anyhow.
How am I supposed to keep track of which weapons I've earned these with, then?
I don't know. There's always the invention of writing stuff down. You'll figure something out.
I love their banter. So good. So, okay, good news for us. As you can see by the darkness kind of hovering around the shield is what's going to have 20% extra darkness for the next run, and it's also something we can unlock. So let's go ahead and just unlock that. Free darkness, and we will be using Aegis Shield of Chaos next rep.
Try that thing out.
So we can actually see here, Dark Thirst. Whenever you gain darkness, you gain 20% extra darkness. Awesome, right? So that's how we're going to be picking our weapons for all of these runs, all right? And again, no keepsakes, but the shield's actually a pretty good weapon. I'll probably display it at the start of the next episode, actually. So thanks, everyone, for joining me for this. This is episode 2 of Hades. On the next one, we'll be fighting out using Aegis, the Shield of Chaos.
Away to the surface.
See how far along we got before we actually move on. Made it to chamber 35. All right, hey, that's more than twice where we made it the very first run, and hopefully we can make it a little bit farther next time. Thank you all for joining me. Once again, leave a like if you like this, leave a comment if you have anything to say about the video, and I'll see you next time.